This guy has actually published a book recently. You were the first one that cheered, and you wrote it. Oh, that was weird. He gave himself a hand, which is what the name of the book is. Give yourself a hand. A book about masturbation for men and boys. I still think the boys part's weird, but that's okay. It's a fantastic book. If you have not got one, get one from it. It is the best bathroom book. It's better than my 3 bathroom books that I've published. So, well, I mean, it's in between. One of mine was really better than yours, but no, it's kidding. No, it's a fantastic book. It's really good. Very, very funny guy. And bring to the saints, John Silk. Give yourself a hand.
Thank you, sir. Let's give it up to Alex one more time. Out there tonight for all of us. By the way, I want to revisit something. Our first comic, Julia. I empathize with her. She has to get shots in her eye every month. My wife is the same way. I always give her at least 1 shot in the eye. So, and by the way, I don't think women are that tough. It all depends on how long you cook them. So, anyway, my name is John Silks. Thanks for listening to me tonight. I just joined the gym. I used to go to the gym when I was younger, middle-aged, 40-ish. I used to go to the gym. And it used to be when I was younger, it was always like big muscular guys with tank tops and they short pants and they were sweaty and grunting and sweating on each other. You know, every gym smelled like BO and testosterone and latent homosexuality. Yeah. But I joined Planet Fitness recently and it's very friendly. It's family friendly, women friendly, kid friendly, too friendly if you ask me. I was there right after I joined. And this guy comes up behind me, this young kid, and he's like, hey, can I spot you or give you a hand? And I said, dude, get the fuck out of my shower stall, you weirdo. But I like working out there. I was moving a piece of equipment. It was in the wrong place. I needed to move it over, get some room. And it made a noise when I pushed across the floor, and it sounded like a big fart. And it was nasty. And everybody looks over like I just farted. But I didn't. I was just moving equipment. So now everybody's looking at me, so I move it again to try to replicate the noise, and it didn't make the noise. So I put some weights on it, and I figured maybe it's heavier. I pushed it, it didn't make noise. So I put a lot of weights on it, but then it was really heavy, so then I went to push it, and I had to strain, and it made me fart. And now I'm known as the guy that farted twice at the gym. Actually, 3 times at the gym, because I was using another piece of equipment at a different time, and this chick went off because a fart slipped out. And she was like, dude, that's so rude. It was loud, it smells, it's, you know, how can you do that? And I said, lady, you know, we're at the gym, you're using equipment. She said, you're in a tanning bed. But I like using her tanning beds because they give you free lotion, which is really cool, like to get a deep tan. And it says on a little dispenser, not for use in sensitive areas. Like I think they're trying to discourage masturbation, so they say if you rub it on your dick, it'll burn. They are so right. It took a while to wash that shit off. But eventually they wound up revoking my membership at Planet Fitness, which is crazy because it was something so simple. I peed in the shower. Like everybody pees in the shower. I think they were just pissed because I was in the women's room and I was fully clothed and outside the shower. But in my defense, the men's bathroom was really full and I didn't want to pee in the women's stalls and leave a toilet seat up and have to listen to that bullshit. And I don't understand it, right? If you leave a toilet seat up and a woman sees it, they're like, oh, I might fall in. Well, don't you think you should fucking look first before you sit down? Like, I would not just go around blindly sticking my dick in a hole. Well, maybe at a porno theater or a rest area or a truck stop. All right, that's a bad example, but just look first. I mean, there could be a spider in a toilet or a snake, or maybe somebody leaves a plunger, right? And you sit down, it goes right in your pussy. Or, I'm sorry. Alex, I'm sorry. We're not supposed to use the P word. I know, we're not supposed to say pussy. I'm sorry. I just don't know what word to use instead. I can't use the C word because I'm not British and I don't want to get fucking shot. Right? And if I use vagina, you can't talk dirty using the word vagina. You sound like a 1700s doctor. And you're like, oh, I would like to enter thou's vagina post haste. That doesn't work. Or you can say other words, twat. It's just so sad. It sounds like Eeyore talking dirty. Twat. I can't use that. Or maybe gash. Gash sounds like you're going to bleed out. And I mean, you do for 3 days a month, but you still don't want to use that word. I know I'm touching on a very sensitive subject. There's other words. Beaver. Should I use beaver? Because then I don't want to get protested when I say I want to eat a beaver. PETA will be outside. Vegans, they'll have signs. They'll be protesting. I don't know what other words to use. People say use cooter. Cooter, if you don't know, is some hillbilly mechanic on the Dukes of Hazzard. If you want your vagina associated with inbred and greasy, I'll use that, that's fine. One girl told me use kitty. Isn't that the same fucking thing as pussy? And you think about it, pussy is not that bad. When you think pussy, what does everybody think of?
Yeah.
A cat, right? It's furry, you want to pet it, you want to love it, you want to cuddle with it, right? Keep it warm, right? And like a cat, it never comes when I want it to, right? And depending on the diet, it smells like fish. So the only solution I have is I'm thinking box. I think box is a good term, right? Box, it's not offensive. And it's like a mystery box. That's a good way to remember. Mystery box, which is good. It fits because a lot of us don't understand what the fuck's going on down there, right? It's a mystery. There's so many things and functions or whatever that we don't know. We really don't care, to be honest. And things are mysteries like yeast infections. All right, I don't know what a yeast infection. I know a lot of people get yeast infections, women. I don't know how often, I don't know how many times, but I know they exist because if I go to buy condoms or something else, there's boxes of yeast infection medication right there next to the condoms, which is shitty for advertising because it's like putting black lung pictures next to the fucking cigarettes. You know, it discourages you. And I never understood the medicine, gentlemen, most of you will not know this unless you've seen it. Monistat is the medicine for yeast infections. Now, here's the crazy thing that confuses me, and I know I'm rambling on. Monistat 1, Monistat 3, Monistat 7. The number is how many days it takes you to get rid of a yeast infection. And I still don't understand why in the hell women would not always choose 1. It gives you a chance of how slow to cure your yeast infection. I don't want to get rid of it in 1 day. I'll keep it for a week and see how it goes. It doesn't make sense to me. You never hear a guy saying, oh, this fucking jockage is killing me, but I'm going to wait till the end of the next lunar cycle and then I'll do something about it. It makes no sense. Why don't we just have Monistat and it does it in 1 day and that's it? It's crazy.
Yay.
Yes. Spoken like a woman with a yeast infection. So, all right, I'm going to get off that. That's a disgusting topic. Me and my wife lately, we've been watching the Dahmer series on Netflix. Has anybody watched that? Anybody? The Dahmer series. I love Dahmer. It's very interesting, fascinating. A lot of people have been talking about cannibalism because he eats all these guys, all these kids. He eats their body parts. He saves them. And what's crazy, they don't show it in the series, but this is ad-lib, by the way. It's not in my actual act. But when we had to write a joke a couple weeks ago, per Alex, about a certain topic, and I want to use it now. When the police had Jeffrey Dahmer in custody and they asked him, like, how could you eat on people and keep them in the refrigerator and keep them fresh and eat them for weeks and weeks at a time? He had one word answer: Tupperware. Alex, you told us we had to use Tupperware in a joke. That's it right there. So speaking of cannibalism, Donner Party. I've been so fascinated by this. I've been listening to podcasts and watching videos. Do you guys know what the Donner Party is?
Yeah.
Does anybody not know what the Donner Party is?
Oh, I want to hear your
A
explanation.
couple of people. The Donner Party, it's a wagon train that was headed west back in the 1800s. A lot of people, they got stuck in the mountains in the Sierra Nevadas. They got caught by a snowstorm. 90 people went in. 45 people made it out alive. They ate their animals, they ate each other, they ate their clothing. Horrible story, great way to start a joke. I think to myself, and all I think about is like when that snow started falling, the people riding the wagons, the husband, herding the oxen or whatever the fuck's pulling the wagon, had to listen to that one bitch wife telling him, I knew you should have turned back at the fort. You should have asked directions. We should have done something and stopped at the old mine. Well, mine at the time. It's an old mine now. But imagine the pleasure on his face when she freezes to death and he gets to boil her and eat her. And eat her pussy for the last time. Literally. I mean, you gotta think, that's a great part to eat because it's tender, reminds you of roast beef maybe, you know, a little au jus. No? Am I going too far? Is it offending too many people? And here's another question. So if you're a dude and you're stuck with another guy and he freezes to death and you eat him, do you eat his penis? Does your homophobic feelings not allow you to eat his penis? I don't know. If you do eat his penis, doesn't make you gay. A penis in your mouth makes you gay. I see the light, sir. I'm almost done. If you eat a penis, you better chew that damn thing well, because you know it's going to be small like a Vienna sausage because it's winter. And those fuckers in the West were brutal. If you died with a penis in your throat, it's going to be on your tombstone, and you know it. Here's what it's going to say. It's going to be a cross, and it's going to be carved in there. Ate his last horse, ate his last goat, died with a penis stuck in his throat. Or something like, here lies a man strong as a rock, outlived his friend, and then choked on his cock. And if you did, even if there's people around and you're eating the penis, like there's other people around and it's frozen and shriveled like a Vienna sausage, be careful eating it because it was the 1840s. Heimlich wasn't even born yet. So if you choke on that fucker, nobody can do anything. It's stuck. You're dying. That's all I got. Well, hold on. I'm about to be done. I just want to say I made some jokes about gay people, gay men. I like gay people. Don't think I'm a homophobe. I have gay friends. I have gay coworkers. I love gay guys. They're awesome. They're so brutally honest. Everybody should have a gay dude as a friend because they'll tell you the truth, right? They'll tell you the truth. Mine's Philippe. But they'll always tell you the truth. Like if you have a bad haircut, a gay man will be brutally honest. And they'll come up and they'll point at your hair and they'll just start fucking laughing because they're brutally honest. If you wear ugly clothes, they'll come up and they'll point at your clothes and they'll start laughing because they're brutally honest. This gay dude I work with, I introduced him to my wife and he told him about a brief encounter we had in the bathroom one time. He's a fucking liar. I'm done. Thank you very much.